Commander Zethkar's antennae twitched with disgust as he reviewed the preliminary analysis of Earth's so-called cuisine. The holographic display floating before him showed molecular breakdowns of various substances the humans consume daily, each one more horrifying than the last. "This cannot be accurate," he muttered to his science officer, Lieutenant Velthera. "Run the analysis again." The four-armed Catherian scientist's exoskeleton clicked as she adjusted the scanner's parameters. "Sir, I've run it 17 times. The results are consistent. These humans are consuming pure toxins as sustenance." Zethkar's three eyes blinked in succession. In his 40 cycles of galactic exploration, he had never encountered a species that actively poisoned itself. The Galactic Health Council's universal food safety standards existed for good reason. Most sentient life required carefully balanced nutrients, free from harmful compounds. "Show me the worst offenders," he commanded. The hologram shifted, displaying a brown liquid that humans called coffee. Velthera's voice took on an academic tone. "This substance contains caffeine, a known neurotoxin that can cause cardiac arrhythmia, anxiety, and dependency. Humans consume it multiple times daily, often in doses that would kill smaller species." "By the void," Zethkar whispered, "and they do this voluntarily." "It gets worse, sir." Another image appeared, a crystalline white substance. "This is what they call sugar. It triggers massive insulin responses, causes cellular inflammation, and contributes to systemic organ failure. They sprinkle it on everything." Zethkar felt his stomach sac contract. "Are they trying to commit species-wide suicide?" The display continued its parade of horrors. Alcohol, a solvent that destroyed liver function. Chocolate, containing theobromine, another cardiac stimulant. Spicy peppers that triggered pain receptors as if the humans were under attack. Salt in quantities that would dehydrate most beings within hours. "Sir," Velthera said quietly, "there's something else. Our reconnaissance suggests they actively seek out these dangerous substances. They have entire establishments dedicated to serving them in concentrated forms." "Impossible." A communication chime interrupted their conversation. The ship's communications officer, a pale blue Xenathi, appeared on screen. "Commander, we're receiving a transmission from the human settlement. They're inviting us to something called a dinner party." Zethkar's mandibles clicked nervously. These humans were clearly suffering from some form of mass psychosis. Perhaps their toxic diet had already damaged their cognitive functions. As a representative of the Galactic Health Council, he had a duty to intervene before they poisoned themselves into extinction. "Accept the invitation," he decided. "We'll need to document their condition for the medical archives." The human settlement buzzed with activity as Ambassador Sarah Chen prepared for their first formal contact with the galactic community. She had studied the preliminary cultural exchange data and knew the Catherians valued health and longevity. Above most things, this dinner would be crucial for establishing positive relations. "Are you sure about the menu?" asked Dr. James Rodriguez, the settlement's head chef and xenobiologist. "Their preliminary scans suggest they find our food concerning." Sarah grinned, adjusting her formal diplomatic attire. "That's exactly why we're serving it. Trust me, Jim. Sometimes the best way to build bridges is to show who we really are." The alien delegation arrived in full environmental suits, their scanner arrays humming as they analyzed everything in their path. Commander Zethkar stepped forward, his translator converting his clicks and whistles into accented English. "Greetings, humans. We come with medical assistance. Our analysis suggests your species is suffering from severe dietary toxicity. We have brought emergency purification systems." Sarah's smile never wavered. "How thoughtful. But first, won't you join us for dinner? We've prepared some of Earth's finest cuisine." The aliens exchanged glances that somehow conveyed horror even through their helmets. "We cannot. Your food would cause immediate system failure in our physiology." "Of course," Sarah nodded. "We expected that. Please, observe while we demonstrate human resilience." The dining hall filled with the settlement's residents. Dr. Rodriguez had outdone himself. The tables groaned under the weight of espresso shots, chocolate lava cakes, ghost pepper curry, aged whiskey, triple cheese pizza, and coffee so strong it could strip paint. The aliens watched in fascinated terror as humans began consuming what their scanners registered as industrial-grade toxins. Children laughed while eating ice cream loaded with enough sugar to send a Catherian into hyperglycemic shock. Adults casually sipped wine that would dissolve Xanathi stomach linings. "This is madness," Velthara whispered. "They're going to die." But the humans didn't die. They thrived. Conversations grew more animated after the coffee. Laughter increased after the alcohol. The spicy food seemed to energize them, turning their faces red but somehow making them more vigorous, not less. Commander Zethkar watched a human grandmother chase her giggling grandchild around the room after consuming what his scanners identified as enough caffeine to kill a small spacecraft crew. His worldview began to crumble. "Commander," his medical officer reported, "their vital signs are improving. Heart rates elevated but stable. Neural activity increased across all subjects. Stress hormones actually decreasing despite toxin ingestion." An elderly human approached their observation station, carrying a steaming mug of the coffee poison. "You folks look confused," he said, kindly. "The name's Bill. Been drinking this stuff for 70 years. 70 years. The alien's equipment confirmed his age. He was ancient by human standards, yet his cellular integrity showed only minor degradation. Impossible." "How?" Zethkar asked simply. Bill chuckled. "Evolution, son. We didn't conquer this planet by playing it safe. Our ancestors ate whatever they could find. Poisonous plants, rotten meat, fermented fruit. We adapted. What kills you folks just gives us a little buzz." Sarah joined them, raising her own coffee cup in salute. "Our ancestors survived ice ages, plagues, and disasters by being tough enough to eat anything. What you call toxins, we call flavor enhancers. We didn't just survive on Earth, we turned survival into an art form." The human child who had been running around earlier tugged on Zethkar's environmental suit. "Mr. Alien, want to try some chocolate? It's really good." The commander stared at the small human offering him what his scanners screamed was pure poison, her eyes bright with genuine kindness. For the first time in his career, he began to understand why humans had earned their reputation across the galaxy. Not for their technology or their weapons, but for their impossible ability to thrive where others would perish. "Thank you," he said softly, "but I think we'll stick to observing for now." As the evening progressed and the humans continued to consume their toxic feast with obvious pleasure, Zethkar drafted his report to the Galactic Health Council. It would be the strangest document in their archives. Species exhibits unprecedented resistance to dietary toxins. Recommend immediate reclassification of humans from fragile newcomers to biological impossibility. Advise extreme caution in any competitive scenarios involving endurance or survival. These beings appear to have weaponized their own digestive systems. He paused, watching Sarah Chen laugh heartily while finishing her third espresso of the evening, and added a final note. Personal recommendation. Never, under any circumstances, challenge a human to an eating contest.